Welcome again to National Exams Answer. In this video, I'm going to show you the answers for National Exam of Computer Science.
We are going to start with the first question. Okay, the first question was to describe computer virus by choosing among the given. They are saying computer virus is a program that replicates itself and spread to another computer. Is it a program that monitors user activity without their control? Is a program that steals sensitive information from a computer? Is that program that blocks access to certain website? Here you have to choose the correct one. The correct one is this one. The correct one is this one. Sorry. The correct one is A. Computer virus is a program that replicates itself. It can reproduce itself and is being spread to another computer. That was the first question. Then the second question was about matching the component with their function. Okay. A battery supplies power. Okay. Then display provide output. Keyboard used to text and command input. Then keypad. This is trackpad is like a keypad or keyboard. Sorry. Then trackpad is like a touchpad. It is used for enabling cursor movement and control. Yes. That was the second question. Then the third question is about about system software that can be subdivided into 4 subcategories, and now you are required to list them. Among them, we have operating system. Okay, operating system. We have drivers, computer drivers. Okay, we have firmware. Have again utilities. Those are 4 categories of 4 subcategories of system software. This is the program that monitor all operations. Drivers used to allow inputs and output device to work properly. Firmware and embedded software inside the component. Okay. Now, the fourth question was about the advantage and disadvantage of using fiber cable in LAN compute compared to twisted pair cable. Okay. Right now we have like 4 options. We have to choose the right answer. The advantage is higher bandwidth, longer distance, and then disadvantage is higher cost, more difficult to install. The second option is low cost and easy to install for advantage, which is not correct. The fiber are supposed to cost higher compared to twisted pair cable. Then it is even difficult to install. Means this option is not correct. Among the other option, you have more secure, which is correct, and less susceptible to interference, which is also correct. And disadvantage is lower bandwidth, which is not correct. and shorter distance, which is not correct. It means this option is not correct. You have to choose the one with correct advantage and the correct disadvantage. Then the fourth one is easy to upgrade, which is not correct. More flexible. Disadvantage is higher latency and lower reliability. Lower reliability is not correct. Means the first one is correct. Sorry. The first one, this one. Higher bandwidth for longer distance for advantage, then disadvantage is higher cost and more difficult to install. The fifth question. The fifth question is how does logical addressing differ from physical addressing in memory management? We're going to choose the correct one. First of all, logical addressing is generated by CPU while program is running. But physical addressing is actual memory where data are stored. Means we're going to choose the one that corresponds to those explanation. The logical addressing deal with data organization, while physical addressing focus on memory hardware. No. Then logical addressing refer to memory location visible to programmer, while physical addressing refer to actual memory location. Okay, the logical addressing is not visible to programmer. Means this one is not correct. The logical addressing is used in a virtual memory system, while physical addressing is used in a physical memory. This is correct. Okay, which means C is the correct one. Now we're going to the sixth question about differentiate. Now we're going to the sixth question.
Yeah, multimedia. This one, multimedia, is a combination texting, graphics, okay, audio, and video that can be used for communication. And those are text, graphics, audio, and video used for helping people in communication. Okay. Then that is multimedia. Then we have traditional media. Traditional media is a printed newspaper, maybe newspaper, magazine, and billboard. Magazine and billboard that allows user or people to communicate. Means by multimedia we use text, graphic, audio, and video, but by traditional media we use printed papers for communication. Maybe here for traditional media you can send an envelope with letter, but with multimedia you can use a video, audio, even text for the purpose of communication. Now we are going to question number 6. The question number 6 is to write the importance of database backup in the importance of backup in database management. and the backup strategies that can be used. I'm going to start with the importance. This database backup help us to protect data from human error. That is the importance number one. It can protect data from human error. For example, if a database manager commit any error, we have original backup that can be used for restoring original data with no error. The second one, Z, can be protect data from physical, maybe physical or hardware failure. If the server faces any challenges that can limit it from normal working, a backup data from other source can be used to restore data from the server. Okay, that is the second one. It protects data from viruses. Of course, computer viruses. Maybe the data can be attacked by virus, and then to fix it, you bring the original copy and restore the original data, and the system will keep working as normal. Then it can be used to protect data from natural disaster. Yes, disaster. The server house may have a disaster like flood, like fire. Maybe even the hardware can be stolen, and then the original data, of course, the copy of the original data will be used to restore data that have been destroyed by that disaster. Those are the advantages. Now we are going to see different strategies that can be used. Strategies used for backup. Among those strategies, you may have one called on-site backup. This is where the backup is stored on the same network. Yes. You take the original data stored on the network, then after you have another copy on the same network, so that in case data corrupted, that backup, the user will use the copy from the same network. We have another one called outside backup. Here, data and the copy are stored in different locations. Means we have different servers. The server on which user are working on, and the server holding the copy of original data. Then in case the data on server failed, the copy from another server, the user will use a copy from another server for restoring data. Another strategy that can be used is cloud backup. Cloud backup. This is where user store their data on cloud. Maybe you can use an email, you can use any other cloud storage that are available online. We have another technique for using removable hard drive. Maybe you can store your data on external hard drive. You can store your data on removable flash disk. You can store your data on CD or any kind of storage device. Then in case of data corruption, you will restore the original data from that storage. That was the 7th question. Now we are going to 8th question. Now you are developing a web application that needs to retrieve data from MySQL database. What is the correct sequence of steps to establish Java database connection with servlet application? Okay. Then we have different options. The option number 1, you start with loading driver, then you establish connection, you create a statement, and then you execute query. Let us check the next one. You establish connection, you load the driver, you execute the query, and you create a statement. This is not correct because you cannot execute the query before creating the statement for that query. The third one is create a statement, execute query, establish connection, and load the driver. You cannot establish connection before loading driver. Then we load the driver, we create a statement, we execute, and then we establish connection. We cannot execute query without connection. Means the first one may be, yes, the first one is correct. Load, establish connection, then create a statement using created connection, then execute the query based on created statement and the connection. Okay, the next question is the analysis of friend function in C++ classes and how do they violate encapsulation and when they should be used. Yes. The next question is about friend function. What is a friend function? How do they violate encapsulation and when they can be used? Now, friend function is a function that is not a member of class, but it can access the property of that class. Means it is a member of class. That is how it violates the encapsulation. Yes. It is not a member of class, but it can access the properties of that class. This statement violates the rule for encapsulation because for encapsulation, only member of class are accessible to only the shared class and the class. The class and its child. Yes. Through encapsulation, the class accesses property and can inherit those property to its child classes. But using friend function, you can access those property of class using the function which is not a member of class. This statement violates the rule following calculation. Then we are going to see where is it used. It can be used yes, a friend function can be used when class has interrelated parts, interrelated functions, interrelated properties. Yes. Means we have a class and then we have another part of program that will need those classes property. Means we can use a friend function to access a member function used in another part of program. Another part of program. Okay. Now, what is the purpose of file handling? As 10th question. What is the purpose of file handling? Yes. The file handling is used for data storing and performing different files operation. Yes, that is the use of file handling. Yes, enough. It is used for data storing and performing different file operations. Then the task that can be performed, we have what we call read. This read used to read data from the file. Yes. We have write used for writing the file. This is I here. We have what we call open. This open is used for creating file. Okay. Now we have another one called close. Sorry, let's write it here. Close. Here we have close. This close is used for closing file. Yes, those are the four possible operations that can be performed on file handling. Then, next question, you are going to define a string and give two examples of string functions in C++. What is a string? A string is an array of characters. Yes, it is array of characters. Means it is a collection of different characters. Yes, or it can be collection of different characters. Now, using C, we can declare an array in different ways. You can use the string type. Yes, we're going to have an examples. We have a string name, which is equal to, string class, which is equal to senior for MCE, like this. This is a string called class. Then this class is going to be class name because a variable cannot be a keyword. Yes, and the class is a keyword in C++. Then you have to use different name. It is class name as a variable. Then its value is senior for MCE as a string. This is an example of how you can define a string, but the definition is array of characters. Now we have string methods or string functions. Among them we have one called length, which is used to find the size of string. We have swap, used to change from, for example, here for swap we have a, for example, and a is equal to sorry, for example, here we have a which is equal to senior 4, and then b is equal to senior 5, and then you want us to swap, and the a take senior 5, then b take senior 4. This is what we call swapping. Means the function that can be used for this purpose is this is before swap, then this is after swap. Okay, changing the value of variable to the value of another variable. That is swapping. We use a function called the swap. Then another function is called the find, used to find the given character in the string. We have what we call str cat, used for concatenation. This stands for string concatenation. Yes, str cat for concatenation. We have what we call str copy, cpy for as a string copy. Yes, it is using for copying a string. The copy a string to another string. Then those are string methods used in. Yes, this is the find, string concatenation, string copy. We have length, we have swap, and so on. Now we're going to next question. It is about finding the output. We have a Java class called array example. Then it has the main function, public static void main. This is the main function. Okay, this one is the main function executed when a class is called. Then we have a variable here. This is array with 5 elements, 1 0 5 0 5. Those are integers because the type of array is integer. I think you can see here the type of array is integer here. It is integer. Then the name is age. Then those are values. Now we have the loop. Yes, the loop is now created. We are counting starting from 0 then to 5. Here 5, then we are incrementing from 0 to 5. Now for each iteration, we are going to do what? We are going to display. What is going to be displayed? It is a system out print line. Means after printing element, you go to next line. Then you are going to print what? It is printing element at index as a string, then concatenated with the current index, the current I of course, from the loop, concatenated with the age at that position. Okay, the age for the corresponding position from the loop, which means we're going to start from I which is equal to 1. In case I is equal to 1, it is going to display element at the index 1, double column, then the age for the position is 0 is 1. Okay, for I which is equal to 1, it is going to display element at the index 1, double column 0, the value for position. I which is equal to 2 is going to display element at index 2 is going to have 5, the age at position 2. I which is equal to 3, because we are incrementing here, it is the element at index 3, then it is going to have 0, this one at the 4th position. Then you have I which is equal to 4, is the element at the index 4, and it is this is 0 1 2 3 4, then you have 5. Then for I which is equal to 5, we test the condition. 5 is not less than 5, means we stop by here, nothing will be displayed. The computer will leave the loop and end the execution, which means the output will be this one, removing those I. Yes. This will be the output. Remember, they are on different line because you have print line. The next question is, in accessing the efficient of database connectivity in a VB window form application, what should be evaluated? We are accessing the efficient of database connectivity. Now we have different options. Do we evaluate the number of controls on Windows main form? For knowing the database connectivity main form? For knowing the database connectivity efficient? No. Do we measure the font size used for label? No, it is not related on database. Do we measure the time taken to retrieve data and display data from database? Yes. But we don't measure the length of variable name for database connectivity efficiency. We measure the time taken for displaying data from database to the form. Means C is the correct one. Question number 14. It is an algorithm for program that reads and displays 14 elements using two-dimensional array. Okay. Now two-dimensional array represented by rows and column. And we have array with row and column index. Like this is array, two-dimensional array. This one. This is for row index, and this is for column index. Then here it is array name. Okay, we are going to start here. We are going to have to start. Let us use a black color. Yes. Start is the first one step. Then the second step, we are going to set rows and column. Rows, which is equal to, we have 14 elements. They will be stored in rows and column, which means you have 2 rows and how many columns? 7. Okay. You can even use 7 rows and 2 columns. No problem. The purpose is to store 14 data in an array. Then the next step is the for. I'm going to use for. Then I is equal to 0. We are going to make the loop starting by inserting data, storing data in array. Of course, two-dimensional array. Then 2. This is a loop for rows. We have 2 rows. It means it is from 0 to 2. Sorry, to 1. It is 0 and 1. Okay. You can say 0 to row. No problem. Of course, it is row minus 1. Then, that is the main loop. We're going to go inside and have another loop for column, for cell, representing each cell in the column. Then it is for J, for example, which is equal to 0, then 2 column calls minus 1. Then we are going to say here we have to set marks or element. Element, it is an array, and then array is defined as array, for example, element of rows, the index for row and codes for column as integer, for example, integer, like that. The array name is, let us call it element, like this. Then here we want to say element at I for row and j is equal to element. Then this element is going to be read from the user, means we're going to say write enter as a string, we're going to enter element, then quotation mark, then here we're going to read element, er, is er, yes, read the er for each row. Then after reading element, we have to store the element in the array. Then we have to end the loop. We're going to end the loop, end loop, the first loop, inner loop, and then end the last loop. Of course, the outer loop, end loop. From here to here, we are restoring element. Now we're going to display element using the same code. I'm going to use the same code. This is for storing element in array. Now we're going to display element in array. Okay, we're going to say from 0 to 1, row minus 1, from j0 to core minus 1. Then instead of asking user to enter a number, we are going to say print. We are going to print element at position I and j. I for row, j for column. Okay, you can use print or write, no problem. Yeah. That's good. But you have to end the loop. Finally, you end the loop. Finally here we have to end the algorithm. Here we have start. Let us use like this, start. Then this one is going to be cleared. Like this. Then the output for this algorithm, the output is going to look like this. We have two rows. This is row column number 1, column number 2, column number 3, column number 4, column number 5, number 6, number 7, and number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then you have two rows. This is the first row. This is the first row. This one. Then you have the second row. This is column number 1. So 0. We have 0. Then you have 1. This is 2. This is 3. This is 4. Then this is 5. Then this is number 6. The index. This is 0. This is 1. Then here it is for 0 and 0. Rows 0, column 0. The first element here. This is the first element. For example, is 1. Then the user write number for row 1, column number 2, we have 2, for example. Then for the second column, we have 3. We have like 4, 5, and 6, 7. Then for row number 2, column number 1, you have like 8, 9. We have 10, for example. We have 11, 12, 13. Then you have 14. This is how data will be stored in our two-dimensional array. You can see we have 14 elements. This is the sample element that can be inserted by user using that algorithm. And then after displaying, you can display them in the columns and rows like this as a table. Now, this is the question number 14. Okay. Now we're going to the next question. The next question was about to describe the benefit of using computer network. Okay. Computer network is interconnected devices. Of course, interconnected computers that are able to share information and device. Okay. Means among some benefits we have easy communication. Okay. People can easily communicate using computer network. Okay. User can easily share resources. For example, we have one computer here. This is computer. Okay. This is another computer. This is another computer. They are different office. This is office number 1. This is office number 2. This is office number 3. Then here we have a printer here for printing data. Okay. This is housed here. This is printer. Then this computer can access this printer as well as this one, as well as this one. Okay. If they are connected in the same network. Means instead of buying 3 printers, different devices can share the same printer. That's why it is easy to share resources in a computer network. Then next advantage is reduce the cost. Okay.
instead of using 10 resources, we are using like 2 resources. Means the cost will be reduced. Then computer network provide a higher storage capacity. Some data can be stored on the computer number 1 here. Then another data can be stored on computer number 2, another one for number 3. Instead of storing data, the same data on one computer, different data can be stored in different computers because they can share resources, they can share information. Information can be shared from computer 1 to computer 2 printer, as well as from computer 1 to computer B or computer 3, which means we have higher storage capacity. Storage for this one, storage for second computer, storage and for third computer. Those information stored on different computer can be easily accessed. Now you can share data and file as another advantage. So you can sharing data and the files. Yes. Then the next question is about the database. We have a database called the student. Okay, no, I have table called the student in a database called the school. Then that table has integer ID, first name as character of 20, then second name as character and the birth as date. Now we are going to write a query for creating table. Okay, it is question number 16. Yes, 16. Now here, question number 16, you're going to create a table. It is A. Yes, we're going to start with A. Creating table. It is create table. The table name is student. Okay. With different property. We have ID. ID is an integer, comma. We have first name. It is the first name, which is a varchar. Is it a varchar? It is a character. Yes, it is a character of 20 size. Okay. We have space. Then semicolon, second name, because it is another attribute. It is a character again with 20 size. Then you have comma, birthday is birth. Then it is going to be date, like this. This is the query for creating table. Create table called the student, then ID is integer, first name as a character of 20, then second name as character 20, then birthdays as date. Okay, this is A. Then B is about adding column. Add
a new column called the school name before the first name. To do so, this is question number B. Is art table, then table name is student, as use black one, and even the size. Then add a table called student, then add school name as a character. Okay. Then after ID, means the school name will be added after the ID before the first name. Good. Now this is question number B. This is question number B. This is B. Going to question number C. Creating user called School Rwanda with password SCHL@123. That will be allowing for only fetching in school database. To do so, the query for this question for adding new user is the create user. Okay. The name of user is School Rwanda. Then it has to be identified by the password SCHL@123. Then here it is by. Okay, this is the query for creating the user. Now we're going to add permission. We have to grant. It will only allow it to fetch data. Means we are going to grant select or no username. The username is the School Rwanda. Then this is the username. We have to specify the server. Server is local host. Okay. Now it is done. Good. This is question number C. It is to write SQL that print detail of a student whose first name ends with H and contain 6 alphabetic. Now we are going to selecting all record from student as table name is a student. Then where for adding condition, have two conditions. First name has 6 character, means length or first name, okay, is equal to 6. Yes, it is 6, and then it ends with H. Means first name, the length of first name is 6, and the first name ends, means like. We use a keyword called like. Then like I'm going to add a string. That's why we are adding quotation mark, percentage H. This percentage means we have some characters before H. If we want first name starting with H, we will start with H and percentage will go at the front of H, which means at the front of H we have some characters, but now we are finding the record ending with H, which means at the beginning of H you have some characters. That is the meaning of this percentage. Now, this is the query for selecting data or records from student whose first name with 6 characters and endings with H. To question number 17, it is the JavaScript. It is about the Java program that use array list class to store a list of student names and then display the names in alphabetic order, which means question number 17. Okay. Have a Java that will use a class called array list. Have to import that class. I'm going to import java dot dot array list. Okay. Class name. Then we're going to import java dot dot collection. This will be used for sorting data. Now the next is to create a class. Is going to be called the student, for example. To restore student names, then you open braces, close it there. Then you're going to declare main function public static void main. The main function that called automatically when the class is initialized. This is public. Then here we're going to say array list. We're going to declare array list of string. Of course, is a string because it is name. Then it is a variable name called the name, which is equal to new array list. Then bracket. We're going to have there's no need of before bracket we're going to write a string, then here bracket. Okay. Now semicolon. Then down here we are going to add elements. It is name dot add, then name to be added. For example, here it is Eric. Then semicolon. Again name dot add. For example, Thomas, comma name dot add. Again here it is like James, comma name dot add. Again here we're going to have Claire, then semicolon. We added 4 names. Now they are stored in array list called name. We are going to display them in alphabetic order. First of all, we're going to sort them using collection. It is collection dot sort Then sort is going to receive the parameter as name of our array list, then semicolon. Now you can display using for is for int I, which is equal to 0. I is the index. It starts from 0 until we are going to make the loop to the array, then semicolon. I is less than the length of name. It is name dot length, then semicolon. I plus plus. It will start from 0 and ends to the size of n minus 1. Then this is the closing braces for main function. This is for class. Then this is for function, for loop, sorry. Now I'm going to say system dot print line. Here we have dot out dot print system dot out dot print, then the bracket here, sorry, bracket, then you're going to say name dot get, then get is going to receive the index, then here we have semicolon. Okay, good. This is for displaying. Okay, then this is for addition of element in array list. Okay, this is the answer for question number 17 about the array list. We need to import array list class, then we need to import collection for sorting data, then after sorry, here it is collection, this is collections in plural, then here, yes, good. Now let us move to next question. Is about while when the loop in a VB. Write a VB program that computes the sum of even numbers from 0 to 50. Okay, using while when loop. Now we're going to start. This is question number 18. Okay. We're going to have a function. Yes, a method, a procedure. Then the procedure is going to be private. It can be private, protected, or public. Let us make it private. Then it is going to be even sum, the name of component or element, then the event is click. Okay, it will be called when user click on, for example, button called even sum. Then this is a bracket. Then you want to say dim here, dim as declaration, num, which is equal to, by default is going to be 0, but is going to be integer, is an integer. Okay, then it is going to start from 0. Okay, it is an integer and is equal to 0. Yes, the initial value is 0. Then I'm going to say if, okay, no need of bracket, if num modulus, yes, sorry. Before we move to the condition, I'm going to while condition is going to be written. It is while num is greater less than or equal to 50. Yes, this represents the ending point. It starts from 0, then it ends to 50. Then before we find the sum, we have to check whether the number is even. Means we're going to use mod if num mod 2 is equal to 0. Means if num divided by 2, the remainder is 0, means that number is even, means we're going to we're going to calculate the sum. Okay, sum is going to be equal to sum plus num. We're finding the sum of numbers from 0 to 50. Then if number is divisible by 2, we have to add it to the sum, which means here we're going to declare the sum as an integer. Okay, then if this integer is going to have a 0 number by default, then for each iteration you add number to the sum, then you have to end if. Okay, and then if numbers reach to 50, we have to say when. We are using when, while when. Okay, then after ending the loop, we have to print the sum. Okay, I have to say print sum. Sorry, sum is here. Print the sum. Then after everything, we have to end sum, which means the function is closed here. Okay, this is a VB procedure for calculating the sum of even numbers from 0 to 50. We need initialization, the starting point. We need the condition showing the ending point. We need the condition for testing whether the number is even. Then inside the condition, you have to add the number to the sum. Then after loop terminated, then you have to display sum and end sum. Here, after closing the loop, we have to increment num by 1. Num plus plus. You can even say num is equal to num plus 1. We have another way. You can even do the same. Let us copy the same code and then we copy them here. We can even remove this if condition. Okay, we remain with the sum. This one, then the condition is removed. We add num to the sum and we increment num by 2. This will work again. Instead of adding 1, you add 2 for each iteration, then you add num to the sum. I'm now going to section C. You were supposed to attempt one question out of 15 marks. Now we are going to start with question number 19. It is about the form in HTML5 for user registration, including field for name, email, password, and date of birth. The form must allow user to submit if there is no empty field. The form must not allow user to submit if there is any empty field. Validate user input for each field to ensure data integrity and security. Okay. It is an HTML form that will not allow user to submit data if there is any field which is empty. Now we are going to, this is question number 19. Okay, 19. Okay, now let's increase the size and change the color. Okay, we have HTML and it is closed here. HTML opening and closing tag. Then you have head, and the head is closed here as head. Inside the head we have title. Title is user registration. Yes, user registration. It is user registration. Then we close title. Okay. Now it is done. We are going to the body. Okay. Inside the head you have title. Enough. Then you are going to the body. Yes, body is closed. Now inside the body we are going to add all contents that will be displayed. First of all, we have a label for first name. Let us use paragraph first. Yes, everything is going to be pressed inside the paragraph. This is a label. This label is having text and is for name. Okay, let us use capital. This is name. Then we copy this paragraph. Then we add the input. Okay, we have input. You can use even capital. HTML is not case sensitive. Input type is the text because it is a name. Then you can add placeholder. A message guiding user saying like type your name. This will be a default message displayed on input, and if the user click on input for starting typing, the message will disappear. Okay, this is input for name, and this is a title of input. Before we proceed, we're going to open the form. Then the form is going to have action presenting the page on which form will be submitted. Then we have post as a method. Method can be post or get. Remember, post data are more sensitive because they cannot be visible in the URL, but get are not sensitive. Yes. Now we will close the form and then you paste. We have another input email. Have email. Here it is email address. And here we have to change the type to email. And we have another input for password. It is capital. Even here it is capital. Password, type password. Then here can have stars as a placeholder. And the next one is the date, means the type is date and it is the date of birth. And it is date. Then here you select the date. There is no placeholder. The placeholder is not necessary. Good enough. Now this is the form and the body is closed. Let us copy HTML and press it in the notepad. You can even check the output. You are going to paste and then save as user.html. Then it is going to be saved in a document. Save and open document. Open. Find there have 4 inputs. We have button remaining. You can enter name. You can here write email. You can type the password. Here you can choose the date. And then you have a button to be clicked. Now we're going to add the button. Of course, inside the paragraph, we're going to have input with type submit. Then it's going to have value of register. Okay. Yeah, it is enough. Can even use button. Yes. Down here, instead of using input for button, you can use even button like this. Button. Then button is closed using the closing tag. Then here you write the text as register. Then here you have to specify type of button as submit. Make sure that if user click on the button, form will be submitted. This is the HTML form. Question number 20 was to list different types of control flow statement available in C++ and briefly describe their functionality. First of all, we have selection, control statements. We have iteration, control statements. This is also called the loop, control statements. We have another one called the jump control statements. This is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3. Now we're going to start with selection. Okay. Selection control statement here instructions are executed in series, one after another. We have different examples. We have if, we are only 2 iterational loop control statement as number 2. Loop control statements executing instruction until the given condition is not true. We have different examples. We have while loop, we have do while loop, and for loop. Okay. Every kind of loop has its own syntax, and every selection control statement has its syntax. Yeah, you can even specify the syntax. Now we have a jump. Okay. It can stop or skip the execution at given condition. Okay. They can be used for stopping or skipping the execution at given condition. We have different examples. Among them we have break, we have continue, and go to. Mainly break and continue are used for stopping and skipping. Break, stop the execution of loop.
but continue, skip, iteration in the loop at given condition. Okay, let us see some syntax for if, nested if, and some loops. Okay, for if we have if, then condition, then here you write instructions. Okay, if this condition here is true, the instruction inside the braces are executed. Now this is if. We want to see if else. We have if condition, then braces, here instruction 1, then else, instruction 2. If this condition is true, the instruction 1 is executed. Else, if the condition is not true, instruction 2 will be executed. Now we have nested loop. Okay, here we have nested if is if condition 1, then instruction, else if condition 2, else if condition 3, then you keep continue until the last possible condition. Condition 1, condition 2, condition 3, can even have condition number 4. It depends on the number of possibility that you have. Then here you have condition instruction 1 executed for condition 1, possibility number 1. We have instruction number 2. We have instruction number 3, and so on. This is nested if. We have for a switch variable. Okay, inside the switch you write a variable name, then you open braces, then the variable has different possibility, different values. Then for case value 1, this is the first value or first possibility for variable. Then here you write statement instruction for possibility number 1. Then you add a break that allows computer stop the execution of switch if this value, if defined the variable is equal to value 1, to execute given instruction and break the execution. Otherwise, it will move to the next case, value 2, the next possibility. It execute instruction and break. We have different possibility based on the kind of problem. Then after you have default, which word instruction that will be executed in case this variable does not match any case. This is, sorry, here you have a default instruction. Okay, this is how switch case is used. Now you can even have some explanation to while loop, for loop and do while loop. Let us try our best. Have for, let us start with while. We have while condition, then inside the braces you rewrite all instructions to be executed as long as this condition is true. Then here we have do while is do all instructions inside the braces while condition. Then here we have semicolon. For here on while there is no semicolon, but for do while you have semicolon. We have for, then it is the initialization, initial value, initialization, semicolon, condition, semicolon, incrementation or decrementation. Okay, then braces, here write instructions. You can have example here for int I, which is equal to 50, semicolon, I is less than 100, okay, then I plus plus. Then you can say cout I and line and semicolon. This will print all numbers from 50 to 100. Okay, yeah, or equal. Thank you. You can refer to this video for preparing your national exam or your class activity. See you in the next video.